Welcome to Create a Life You Love, Module 5.1, Tools and Techniques. So in order to deliberately create a life you love, it's important to be in a positive state. It's important to listen to our inner guidance and to notice our thoughts and emotions, to be the observer. How can we do those things consistently? It's also important to be able to change your negative thoughts that you observe to neutral or positive. How can we do that? It's also important to stop yourself from dwelling on the negative, complaining, being sarcastic, from telling a negative story over and over again So how can we do that consistently? A daily me time is my number one recommendation. I know we've talked about how do you start off your day, but think about how do you want to start off your day? Do you want to change it? What would you like to include? There are a number of different tools and techniques you may already be doing, and some you may want to add to either your daily or weekly practice. First of all, do something every day to start your day off in a positive state. Do something every day that opens you to receive your inner guidance. And do something every day to connect with the passion of yours. Do something possibly every day, regularly, that deepens your connection to your body, to nature, or to the earth, or all of those things. Do something every day or regularly to expand your mind, and do something regularly to acknowledge that you are a creator and you have access to the energy that creates worlds, that you are a co-creator with that universe. So some tools and techniques you might find helpful. My number one recommendation, along with number two, is number one, meditation. And you only really need to do this 15 to 20 minutes. And this could be a walking meditation, doesn't have to be sitting. It could be in a, as a hike, but it needs to be quiet, okay? But your purpose is to still your thoughts and to really allow your insights and your interconnection to your soul or your God or creator or source there, to recognize that. And basically to move your mind aside, to still your mind so you're not just chatterboxing. You can do this a number of ways. You can focus on your breathing, and you could focus on a, inhale of 4 counts and an exhale of 6, and keep doing that over and over again. Something you have to kind of focus on to keep going, the rhythm. Or it could be you're focusing on unconditional love at your heart area, or you're focusing on diaphragmatic breathing, which could be the same kind of thing. We used to do 6-3-6 breathing, which was inhale for 6, hold for 3, exhale for 6, hold for 3, and the same thing going back and forth. You could focus on your third eye area, or on a steady sound like an air conditioner, or it could be something you hear inside your ear. I hear the vibration of a high energy frequency that I sometimes use to focus on. So meditation every day, I would recommend, and you can use a guided meditation if you want, but I would recommend just setting a timer for 15, 20 minutes. If you want music on, you can, or if you have, something that's very, I can't do it with music, but do it with something, maybe it's just water, the sound of waves or something. So that's really relaxing and then helping you to stay focused. But set a timer, 15 minutes, and then just do it and do it consistently. And if it's walking, meditation, or driving, that's great. That's fine. But I would really think that you should try the sitting at least once a week. Appreciation ritual. We've talked about this in this class. So this is basically where you could do this right when you wake up before you get out of bed. You maybe say or write out a list, and it could be a list of 10 things. It could just be enough to get you in a real positive state. It might be 20 things that you think of. I really love my bed. Looks like a beautiful day. I'm so appreciative of waking up again. I had such a great dream, that kind of thing. And just keep going. I'm so excited for my day, that kind of thing. Create your day is a technique where you think about the things that you know you have planned for that day. You might be doing this even while you're brushing your teeth or something, and you imagine them as you would like to see them. Now, this could be pretty detailed if there's some things that are really specific that you know of, or it could be very general. If you have specific meetings or a person you're meeting with or working on a project together or something, you might have some specific things you'd like to see. Maybe everyone that's meeting is focused and solution oriented, and everyone is in a great positive mood, or that kind of thing. So creating your day, or maybe it's you're receiving flashes of insight here and there, however you come up with it. So you can have fun with that one and play around with it. Segment intending is similar to create your day. However, it's more intentionally based on pieces of your day. And I almost see it as happening right before that segment, or right as that segment is occurring or starting to occur, where you're going to be driving somewhere. Maybe you see that the path is clear, and you notice anything you should be noticing, and you have great timing, anything like that. And it could be segment intent. Just segments are like different pieces of your day. When you're meeting someone for lunch, that's a different segment, that kind of thing, right? The candle exercise is an exercise where you are disciplining your mind, basically. You focus on the flame of a candle for a length of time. So you can start off with 5 or 7 minutes. I would go to 10 eventually, or longer. But what you want to do is focus on that flame burning, and every time and have a piece of paper and a pencil with you. And then every time you notice that your mind has wandered, you make a mark on the paper, and then you bring your attention back to the flame. So you make a mark, even if your mind has been gone for a long time, and then you brought it back, or you've thought about it, it's almost better to have more marks. if you catch yourself quickly, right? Because what you want to do is not be off on your long tangent thoughts. You want to be able to, I'm thinking of something, and I'm going to go back to my flame. Here's my flame. I'm thinking about the flame. Look at the flame. You're focusing on the flame. You'll find some interesting things about the flame if you do it. All right. So that's a really good exercise for building the observer quality and knowing how to direct your focus, as well as your thought. When you're like a little bit of willpower over not a little bit, quite a bit of willpower over your mind, taming your wild mind. Okay. Game with the universe, we have been doing through this course. Basically, I think this is a great game to continue doing every day. Asking for something you'd like to see, and remembering to look for it and receiving it, and notice when you see it. You can write them down. You can keep a log of all of these different things that you're, wondrously, magically attracting to you. The cool thing about this is that you're learning to trust the universe, and you're learning to trust your intuition. There's two things there, or there's probably more, and then you're getting to see some of the magic, and how it works. Like when you're not necessarily in a receptive mode, you might miss it that day. You might be caught up in other things. And so you'll get to see how your emotions play into that as well. The Book of Positive Aspects is similar to listing appreciation, but this is writing out a page of some positive aspects about a specific aspect, a specific quality, specific area of your life, not quality, area of your life. So you list all the positive aspects about something in your life. You fill a whole page, and you write it or type it, and it's there. So it could be relationships, the relationship you're in with your significant other, or all the things that all these different things, and that you appreciate about your kids, or about being a mom, or it could be anything, being living, but make it more specific. Make it more specific thing one day. Each day you write something, and you'll have, after 20 days, you'll have 20 pages, right? So if you do it every day, right? But it's a cool little exercise. Stop change is a way to a technique to change from going from negative to neutral or positive. And this is when you notice that you're speaking negatively about a subject, or you're being sarcastic, and you say, oh yeah, stop, change, and you change it to a different statement. So it could be as simple as, I am not a very good singer today. I'm not very good because I worry about my voice cracking. And then, but however, I know that I'm going to sing this song well, because if I get started to choke up, then I'll stop, change it, I'll go into this. So it's more like you have changed it right there. I didn't say stop, change, but that's basically what I did. I changed it in the middle. So another example might be, if you are saying, I don't know, like it could be, I'm just a lousy, I'm not trusting the universe that I've got money coming in, or whatever, or it's always too expensive there. Maybe it's just like, wait, it's always too expensive there to eat. Oh, stop, change. It's been too expensive in the past, but I really am enjoying that I have more money, and I don't worry so much about spending money at this expensive restaurant, and I am comfortable. It could be something like that, where you're changing that, that you have the money provided, something like that. So you have to be able to believe it when you say it, though. So I started feeling that I didn't believe it. So that one then needed a little work on. We might have to come back to that. Another thing is emotions as your guide. So when you feel bad about something, then you need to recognize that the reason you feel bad is because you are that far away from source energy's opinion or perspective of that same idea. So in other words, if you judge yourself that you just did that example badly, however, and you feel bad, well, then source energy has a different opinion of you. Basically you have a misguided perspective. So the clue to this is that every thought that feels bad is bad. Okay. So that's really cool, because to me, I didn't even think that when I was a kid. I had no idea that I always thought that I had to feel guilty when I was sinning or whatever, right? I mean, this is way different than I was taught as a child growing up in America, because you're not, they always made you feel like you're supposed to feel bad or feel sorry for something. But really, every thought that feels bad is bad. It is bad. So that's your clue that your inner guidance, your inner source, your inner being doesn't feel the same way, doesn't have the same beliefs that you're trying to believe, that you're expressing at that time. Okay, so emotions are a really good guide, and then you can use other tools. Or you can say, okay, so source doesn't believe this, so then that's a misguided perception. So how can I let that go, that belief or that judgment? How can I let that go? And then keep going from there. And this next one is, I'm calling it CPs because Charlene Price brought it up last week. And she just said, I'm trying this I love you statement. And so how I understand it is, when you notice you're judging yourself in any way or you're saying something negative, you say, oh, but I love me. Oh, I love me. I love you. Could be you're talking to yourself um, uh, as an I love you. But basically, when you say that, then it changes the energy. And then you can go from there. So you can work with that one and try it. I think that's kind of cool. Now, EFT or tapping, we've never really talked about that before in this class. And I think what I'll do is I'll bring it up in our call on Thursday, like how to do it. We'll do it with you. I'll do an example. But basically, when something is bothering you, you tap on specific areas. And some of you may have already been doing this. I haven't done it I did it quite regularly a few years ago. And it helped me get through some things I was really stuck with. So that it was really helpful. So if you have things that you're really stuck with, this might be a good technique for you. Basically, you tap on specific areas of your body. When you want to change something, and you're changing your statements, but your positive statements kind of start off more neutral and then they get more and more positive. Okay, so that could be about abundance or relationships or any of that. Connecting with your body or nature is a great tool and technique. Yoga, I usually am very centered after my yoga session, even after my weightlifting session. So any kind of exercise, really. Connecting with your body, hiking in nature, walking, around your neighborhood, dancing with music, especially that you love, barefoot in the grass, however it works for you. Running outside, obviously, would be more connective to nature if you can. Sex with a wonderful partner just is a really good way to connect with your body. And the energy of creation, gardening, all sorts of amazing things, doing connections made with those tools and others. High vibe yourself is another tool and technique. So really, basically, whatever gets you in a high vibe. This could be music, passions, or creativity. Do it. This might be painting, playing music, listening to music, any kind of creating or planning, getting your creative juices flowing. So you might be listening to, watching an uplifting talk or a program, a musical show, or listening to music, a movie, a podcast, a book, Good News Network, any kind of good stories, adventures, travel, fun activities with friends, all sorts of fun things. Other tools and techniques are really just allowing yourself to relax and receive. Sometimes just getting a body massage, you can get all sorts of great insights, right? Or even during face or foot reflexology or acupuncture and other kinds of oriental medicine, other kinds of self-care and alternative medicine. You can get some great insights while you're just relaxing there, as well as just treating yourself and the great connection to your body. Those are really important. Hypnotherapy, past life regression, energy healing, all of those things are amazing ways to relax, receive, and connect. So, in conclusion of this module, to deliberately create a life you love. We didn't really talk about being lighthearted, but be lighthearted. Don't take this life so seriously. Really look for the joy. Look for what makes you happy, what lights you up, what makes your heart sing, and do something every day to connect to your inner being, your source energy. Also to your intuition. Put yourself in a positive state from the beginning of your day. And notice when you're out of sync and do something about it. That's the best thing to do with the observations. Once you notice you're out of sync, then do something about it. Change it. And you can even just ask, how can I change this? Be kind to yourself and start fresh every day.